how is AI affecting your business and how direct mail works?
Let's just be clear. Like me trying to be a self-accountable guy, like I couldn't spell AI at the end of 2024. Like no exposure was just like, that's a wormhole. It's a distraction. It's something that I hadn't given myself permission to spend time on. When you realize, and we were talking about this morning at the gym, like AI is not a replacement for Google. It's not for searching. It's not for obtaining knowledge about a topic.
It's not only that. I mean, it
Fair.
can be that, but it should be so much more.
I think you're keeping yourself as a limited level as a business owner if you're only using Chat or Claude or Grok or whatever to like look things up versus like using it therapeutically. And I think for any business owner that's not super familiar, like getting into AI yet or isn't using it on any basis of where they feel like they're more than if they had to rank themselves a 1 or a 2. When I learned how to use AI a little bit more like therapeutically as a business owner, not necessarily asking it for answers, but asking it to guide me through my thoughts and get the responses or the information back about my questions of all the information out there. Yeah. When I started talking to AI about my companies or some of the companies that I consult, it would allow me to identify opportunities for things that maybe 6 months ago, a year ago, 3 years ago, plus whatever, couldn't necessarily be automated. I think some of those opportunities exist a lot more right now and in the future than they did very recently.
So you're just sitting down, you're giving it lots of context and then seeing what it comes back with.
I have it interview me. It's a tool that I have a relationship with. Yeah. I used this example the other day. Like I got a buddy that makes like amazing things out of wood, like those tables that are pouring the epoxy in them, and he's doing all types of cool stuff. If you hand him a block of wood and a chainsaw, he's going to come up with something beautiful. If you hand me a block of wood and a chainsaw, I'm going to come back to you with like an emergency room bill and an explanation of why it didn't go that great. And I think when you approach AI more like a tool and how you develop the skills of using that tool is the back and forth. If I had never logged into Claude before in my life, the first thing I would do is like, hey, I'm Dave. I'm the owner and founder of Dope Marketing. We've been open this long. We do this much revenue. Here's the people that work for me. Can you ask me more questions to get to know me better so I can use you as a tool, as a business owner, as a founder? Yeah. What do you need to know about me so you can give me strategic advice on sales or marketing or operations? Yeah. When you take the approach more not asking it for answers, but giving it information to let it guide you, that was one of like the big aha moments for me with AI. And then to your question, like I own a roofing company or I own a home service business. How do I identify opportunities for automation? Like I would ask Claude that and be like, ask me the questions that you need to give me back some answers as I'm kind of a novice at this. And so like being a little bit vulnerable with it and just letting it kind of guide you more like almost like a therapist.
It can teach you how to use it.
What I don't think people totally fully grasp or understand is that it's just all the knowledge of every expert advice or piece of information. When you think about like back in grade school, before even the internet, you had to like get encyclopedias, or if you have any like lawyers in your family or people in the legal industry, all those books sitting behind them in their law office or whatever, like all of that is at your fingertips right now. A buddy of mine is one of the, he got voted like best patent attorney in the country 2 years in a row. My boy Stan out of LA. Stan's over 60. I was asking Stan how he uses Claude and he was giving me the example. He's like, all these years, all this book, all this stuff. It's not like that knowledge isn't good. It's not like I'm still an expert, but the dozens of hours it used to take to put briefs together can all be cited and compiled like much more quickly. Sure, yeah. And so like, thinking about that example for anyone watching or listening and like how could that apply to the knowledge or expertise that you either have or that you've hired for or that you're trying to hire for, and just get a little exploratory with it.
Yeah.